Alright, what's up everybody? This is eLeVaTioN and Ghost. It's Ghost. This is our first dual commentary. We're basically here to talk about some of the MLG rule changes going into Anaheim and give you guys a little update on that. As you can see, we're kind of doing a little scrim here. Actually, we were running with Dose and RJ, and me and Saber are actually a team of 3 now with Amazing, but anyhow, this was from the other day. We were scrimming against the new Influencer Resistance, whatever the team name being. It's now Striker, Nameless, and Pluto, with their fourth being not Revan. Their fourth had to go, so they used him as a sub last second. Anyhow, Coach eLeVaTioN, how are you today?
Doing pretty good. It's a pretty nice day outside. Looking forward to it.
That's good. Good to hear. I'm pretty sure you live about 20 minutes away from me, so gotta have the same
I
weather.
live about an hour away from you, actually.
Oh, an hour, 20 minutes, same state. It's all good. Alright, anyhow, let's get down to some of the rule changes. I'm going to have eLeVaTioN actually explain the domination changes going into Anaheim. They've made some tweaks and changes that are really going to make it a more versatile game type, and he is here to better explain that to you.
All right, so with the new MLG rules for domination, as most people know, with the new patch, they released so you can change the game time per round. And with the new MLG rules, the time limit has been changed to 6.5 minutes opposed to 8 minutes. And with that, let me just talk about the time limit for a minute. With only that 6.5 minutes, I feel that it's that minute and a half can make the difference between you winning or losing by 10 points. With it being a shorter game, scores will obviously be a lot closer, and you're not going to see many blowouts of 150, 200 point games, and especially now with the new capture time, which I'm also going to say here, with the new capture time, it's down from 10 seconds to 7.5 seconds. Now that's with one person capping. Obviously, the more people who cap the flag, the quicker it goes. So obviously now you can capture the flag even quicker than before. And with that, with the old domination rules, a lot of people weren't too happy because they thought that domination relied mainly on just your grenade spots, just being able to throw a grenade and defending your flag. To where now, with that quicker cap time and now with the lower time limit, I feel that just there's going to be much more diversity on how people set up on their play styles, and also there's going to be more variation on the guns that are used in domination.
I can definitely understand where you're coming with that, and it really makes it a more versatile game type with how it's going to be played now. Secondly, we are going to go over Search and Destroy, as I will mostly go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Anyhow, with the new Search and Destroy settings, some of you may not know, with the new update, they actually have changed the fact of the spinning technique, where you could get rid of the sound of planting and defusing. So with that going into play, MLG actually had changed the plant time to 5 seconds, as well as they left the defuse time at 7.5. With that being, they also shortened the round time from 2.5 minutes to a minute and a half now, which, with that being said, I really feel that it's going to be a much more pushy, versatile type game, which is going to be a lot more fun to watch for anybody spectating, as Search and Destroy is probably the funnest game type out of any MLG game, I believe. Anyhow, just game type wise, that is. Because one life is all you have, and you really have to put that one life into play, and you really have to do something, or you really have to help your teammates do something. And to actually have that one life and stay alive is really hard with how people strategize and stuff. And now with that going into play with a minute and a half game time only, it really changes how people are going to have to strategize their techniques and whatnot, because the gameplay is based on the time limit, and with that being shorter, it's going to be more pushy. So also with that, the 7.5 diffuse and the 5-second plant, I'd like to talk about that for a second. With that being put into play, I also feel that the game type will change, because with the minute and 50, or the minute and a half round length, sorry, It's going to be much different for other teams to set up and whatnot. And with the 5 seconds, it gives that pushing team the advantage to plant. Now, the advantage of the pushing team is they get the 5 seconds to plant, but they have to set up and defend. Now, the flaw for the defending team is they have the 7.5 defuse time. So it's really going to create a much different all-around game type, because with that 7.5, it kind of causes the defending team to really go for kills and eliminate the whole opposing team, because now you have the sound when you defuse. So with that and the 7.5 seconds, you really are forced to kill the whole opposing team before you defuse. There's no sneaking. Well, on the other hand, the opposing team's flaw, which would be the pushing team that has the plant, is the time limit, which is a minute and a half now. So with that flaw being, they only have a minute and a half to plant, but they have the 5 seconds. So each side of the game has a flaw now and also an advantage. So we'll see how that's put into play going into Anaheim. And as you see here, we're just on the second side of this capture the flag. A little talk about capture the flag. I'm pretty sure I'll let eLeVaTioN explain that. There's not much.
Yeah, capture the flag. I mean, there haven't been any rule change. Pretty much just all teamwork. You really have to know how to set up. Also, getting your cutoffs, I think, is one of the most important things about capture the flag, and also controlling the spawns. Those two, I think, are the two of the most crucial keys to winning CTF.
Yes, most definitely. And now, also on top of that, there was a tweet actually last night by David Vonderveer, which he had tweeted that during the next update, the FAMAS is going to be nerfed. Which, in that term, I would expect definitely the FAMAS to be weakened and tweaked to have a disadvantage now. So really, it's going to put a lot of different guns into play, which is going to go for a lot more gun skill. The AUG is definitely going to be in play more, as people are already talking about it. Yes, that's basically the secondary assault rifle weapon, which is good all around and overall. So you're really going to see a lot more variety of gun and different game types using different guns. So, eLeVaTioN, you have anything on that?
Yeah, with the FAMAS being what they'll say nerfed, the changes being made are mainly for its accuracy. They're going to make it less accurate from the hip, and try to make it give it a lot more recoil when you fire down range. And they're also lowering when you aim down your sight, the speed that it takes you to aim your sight will be slower, and also your recenter speed. So, those are the changes being made. I think it's still something that, once the patch is out and we have time to play with it, it's going to come down to seeing just how it feels. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I do think that a lot of people will decide to move to. I think the AUG will probably be the most suitable solution to it. I mean, but like I said, it's going to come down to when the patch is out and just how the gun feels, because it may still feel okay to where everyone will still want to use it, or it could end up having making it have a big disadvantage, and forcing people to actually look for alternative solutions to their weapon setups.
Very well said. I definitely feel that, because the FAMAS really puts a different style of gameplay in, because as you see it, all the live streams, all the events and stuff, basically you see 4 FAMAS, and even as you see Dose in this game, who is actually a great objective runner, he uses the FAMAS with steady aim, which, with really putting that into play, you see 4 FAMASes. You see a FAMAS in the Slayer, support, and even objective role of the game. So it's basically an all-one type gun gameplay. And really, they might be putting a stop to that. We'll see how the feel is of the FAMAS after the update and all. So, enough talking. eLeVaTioN, any shoutouts as we get to the end here?
Shoutouts all my Twitter followers. Shout out to Trinity Studios, company I work for. And shout out to any fans I may have.
I would also like to give a shout out to Against All Odds, Saber and Amazing right now. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to my Twitter followers as well. I'm still working on my new Twitter here, as my old one I deleted. So give me a follow, give eLeVaTioN a follow, and later on.
Peace.